cold, rainy Tuesday. So let's see if y'all can hear me. I will look for the 5x5 and see who the somebody can take down Jacob as the reigning champion, because I think we will, because I haven't seen him in here yet. So there comes my screen. And let's see who can. And North Shore, look, North with the 5x5. Look out! All right, all the way up in Canada. Right. Good deal. Well, I've seen North is in here and Robert's in here. So right now we got two of the moderators. So hopefully the other two will kick in here if they're not picking up some extra hours or trying to make a couple extra bucks as we can, which I'm certainly not going to blame them for that whatsoever. Any chance you can get a couple of bucks right now before anything goes on, go for it. This is about the lowest priority of things to do in life. Lucky Dame is here. Okay, good deal. Hey, all right, there's three. Okay, we got 3 out of 4. So Jacob may be out sick again or something, who knows, but we'll see. We'll find him. Okay, so like I said, cold, rainy, dark. How do you like that? Those gas prices today, guys? Natural gas up 8.5% today, after 3.5% yesterday. Gee, that's 12% increase in natural gas prices in 2 days. One of y'all sent me a video clip from the local news. I'm assuming it was the new news out of Chicago, CBS WBBM. Yes, believe it or not, I actually remember that. And the news in Chicago, Nicor Gas, is telling everybody, expect your gas bill to go up 125%. So yes, Chicago, guess what? Your gas bills get to more than double this winter. Nice. Thanks, Joe. Doing a great job there. And everything else, of course, heating oil was up 3% today. Gasoline was up 2% today. Somebody just said, got any good news? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. What do you want to talk about? The uber leftist Facebook whistleblower today that thinks that she should be in charge of regulating the social media? There'd be a good one. Okay. That there should be, she should be the one to say whether or not something can be on social media at all. There you go. How about Donald Trump? Give Donald Trump that job. Let's see how that one goes for Facebook, everything like that. Though the fun part was to see that Zuckerberg lost $6 billion yesterday, so I kind of enjoyed that at least a little bit. Other good news, if you will, for those of you guys that live in Canada, specifically New Brunswick. Hope you don't have plans for Monday. Monday being Thanksgiving in Canada, and New Brunswick came out today and said Thanksgiving is canceled. That I guess up there you are not allowed to have anybody in your house from Friday through Tuesday, right into the holiday weekend, because Thanksgiving's on Monday. You're not allowed to have anybody in your house who doesn't live there. I don't know, what is this? Somebody listening to Fauci too much, maybe? I'm canceling Christmas, and then come back and say, oh, that's not what I meant. You took it out of context. When you said, yeah, I don't know if we can have Christmas this year. Okay, that was out of context. Sorry, we all know what the definition of is there, Doc. So let's not, worry about it. You ain't as smooth of a talker as Slick Willie was. So, but yes, so that was kind of the fun today. Apparently, y'all liked a little bit of calmness, if you will, with this morning's video and making beer. The comments were great. What surprised me more than anything else was how many of y'all said in the comments that you already do. I thought that was pretty cool. That there are a lot of home brewers and stuff like that, and probably a lot of them that are a lot better than me in here too. But it was kind of cool to see that a lot of you guys already did it. And then it's also cool to see a lot of you guys said, hey, that looks like a great Christmas gift for my brother, my husband, whatever it would be. So, something fun. But like I said, hey, maybe it's a way to get them into prepping, because if you can't get it, the cans of the stuff last a lot longer than a bottle of beer will. So, the stuff that I'm brewing now, I think I got for Christmas last year, 2 years ago. Uh, Still makes a fine beer. God knows if I would have bought a bottle of beer 2 years ago, it wouldn't be any good at this point. So that's what we got there. So yeah, I'm turning into the liquor channel, huh? Wine, Applejack, beer. Sorry, I don't have a still, so thinking about it for distilled water, not for making whiskey, but that'll be something else down the road. And other than that, haven't got a whole lot done out here because it's been raining for 3 days. So I'm halfway into putting up my muscadine trellis and can't do anything because it's pouring freaking rain all day long. So that was it. So yeah, there's not been a whole lot of prepping going on around here because there's not a whole lot I can do. You know, got to get out and still clean out gardens and stuff like that, but I don't feel like playing in the mud. so, so there we go. So I just keep doing what I can inside, and it's a work week, so I still get more work done. But all right. So let's get into you guys and what's going on here. Again, greetings to everybody. Just short of 700 of us in here right now. So rather than spend all day saying hello to everybody, I will just say hello, everybody. Glad you're all here. Glad you made it to spend a little bit of time here. But, you know, Tuesdays and Saturdays, guys, this is all about you guys. So please, you know, questions that you have, things you want to talk about, you know, you guys set the agenda tonight, not me. So if you got something you want to talk about, please put it in all caps. That way I know it's directed at me. As usual, I always encourage you guys to have conversations amongst yourselves in there because God knows I don't have all the answers. But please keep those in lower caps so I know that that's a conversation y'all are having in between and amongst yourselves, and I can just look for the all cap stuff. Please keep it PG-13 as per normal. I'll start at the top, work my way down as quick as I can. If you don't hear your question answered within 5-10 minutes, feel free to post it again. If I see it a second time, I will just skip it and we'll go from there. So I don't try to skip anybody's questions unless, of course, we're talking about subjects that are pretty much banned from YouTube, which we know what that one is. And I still have 5 more days with 2 strikes. So until one of my strikes drops off. So still can't really touch on that one particular subject too much because otherwise we all go bye-bye. So that was good. All right. Whoops. At the wrong spot. So let's roll this back up to the top or as close as I can get and see what y'all want to talk about. So here we go, as far as I can get. All right, so let's see what we got here. Frugal Family Farmhouse. I got gas on my lunch break in my car. After work, it went up 15 cents. Yep, gas went up between yesterday and today. Gas, oil, okay, was up 6%. So yes, we're all going to see fuel hikes here this weekend, by this weekend, if not sooner. So, Chief Jim, pinball, Red Sox and Yankees doesn't get any better. Sure it does when it's the Cubs against either one of them. So, but hey, you know, at least both of us, the Sox and then the Cubs, can both say we finally won a World Series. So, Treasure Seekers, our only radio station closed and went off the air this week. I mean, is it because, I mean, I can think of, you know, gee, they couldn't get people to come to work. I mean, I can't think that, you know, the DJ's sitting in a booth by himself. So, you know, usually there's a producer and a you know, on-air personality. I mean, they're usually separated, you know, one's in a silent room. So I can't think it's that. So the only thing I can think of is maybe is it not advertisement money or whatever? They just ran out of money. But that's kind of weird. Charlie Law, propane still holding steady in my area. Give it a few days. Let the supply chain or whatever we have left of one work its way through. Because I heard from somebody today that I think it was either Lowe's or Home Depot raised their price on a 25-pound can of propane, $10. So, Janice Sheets, if Trump was in charge of Facebook, I may actually be tempted to make an account. I got rid of Facebook years back. It was like, you know, all it got to me, I still don't see the purpose of it, okay? Because I don't care about somebody's cat pictures. I don't care about what their picture of what they had for lunch. Okay, so and that was about it. The rest of it, gee, I'm going on vacation. Cool. Good thing I'm not a criminal because now I know to break into your house. Uh, here's my vacation pictures. Well, this is me this morning in Italy. Great. It means your house is empty. But you know, and other than that, it was just political, 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 and God knows if you said something, the trolls came out either side, like crazy. I was like, forget it. It was just, you know, so for the life of me, I can't understand how Facebook still exists. But I guess there's enough people that still want to put themselves through that torture. North Shore. I will be going to see my mother this weekend, regardless of what anybody says. Good. Fortunately, you don't live in New Brunswick. But yeah, I mean, like I said at the top, screw what anybody says. Sorry, you. Unless you're going to handcuff me to my bed, I'll go wherever the hell I want, whenever the hell I want. The end of story. Don't tell me otherwise. So, Green Smoothie Queen. Everyone's invited to my house for Christmas. There you go. That's it. Bring everybody over. Get the spotlight out in the front yard and say, Fauci, come here. It's like, join us. We need a turkey to throw in the oven. Billy Pollard beer. It makes me a jolly good fellow. There you go. Homestead Jen and Mass. I bought my still earlier this year and I'm making whiskey at the moment. Okay, there you go. You got to email me what kind you got and everything like that. See what it is. Be interesting to figure all this out. But, I'm not doing one of these massive things or little one that I could maybe do outside would be about it for me. Morning Light. I checked on Mr. Beer. They also sell Mr. Root Beer. Yes, they do. Okay. I've never tried it, but I do know they have that. Yes, you can make it yourself. So for all those of you who are saying, okay, you got a Pepsi addiction, that's about as close as you can get because I don't know how the hell you make cola. Boy, you guys like the beer comments. Teresa, 60,000 Haitian immigrants headed to Texas. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. And don't you just love how the Mexican government is just kind of letting them go on through? Why aren't they stopping them? That's still my question. I still, for the life of me, cannot figure out why. Why is the Mexican government totally okay with them being invaded as well? It's... every one of them isn't going to the United States. Okay, there's some that are going, hey, I'm here, I'm staying here, whatever it is. I don't want to walk anymore. So why the Mexican government is so okay with this, I got no idea. Brandy F, chain shortage again. Yes. This is, again, the same problem. You're starting to see all the no cash, credit card only, whatever. I wonder if that's a lot of people hoarding change, but I don't think that's that much. Okay. I still think this has a lot more to do with the fact that the banks won't roll it for you anymore. They won't count it for you anymore. So, here's your credit card sales for the day, poof, done, rather than having people counting all this change and obviously human error, do whatever. Granted, they use machines, but still it takes a lot longer than, like I said, pushing a button. But I still, my gut feeling tells me this is just trying to train people to not use cash. That's my guess. Homestead Jen also distilling home medicinal and also distilling home medicinal remedies. Lots of great uses for a still. Yeah, I mean, the big one I think would be best for is distilled water. If you got to purify water somehow, obviously that is going to be perfectly purified. But yeah, I mean, again, like I talked about this morning, we've talked about many times before. There's going to be plenty of times where you're going to go, I just want to kick back and have a beer or a drink or a glass of wine or whatever. And if you don't, it's going to be a great barter item because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, I need to take an edge off. Treasure Seekers, we just received all our equipment for making vanilla extract and other flavors. There you go. Now make your own vodka, and you can make your own vanilla vodka. Derek Gardner, Pinball, do I think China's economy is going to take a dump also? Absolutely. Okay. And here's why. China's been running at about a 6 to 7% GDP growth here for about the last decade or so. That's unsustainable. And just like anything else, the economy starts running hot, and eventually when it cools down fast. That's what's going on with China. Now, you get the problem where with all these blackouts and brownouts that they have, the factories are screaming that they don't have the power to produce whatever they're selling. All the stuff that they're going to put on the ships to sell to us, okay, because, Americans are addicted to Chinese junk. So, let alone probably half the rest of the world is too, but I don't live in half the rest of the world, so I don't know what the equivalent of Walmart is in Switzerland. But so now you get that issue where they don't have the power to produce the goods that keeps their manufacturing economy going. Then you add the point what I was talking about before is once it gets on the ships, it can't get into port to get sold. And if you think Walmart's paying for all this stuff before it's delivered, you're wrong. All right. So all that is money that China's got sitting out in front of the port of Los Angeles. Now, China caved a little bit this evening and is allowing some Australian coal to come in because they don't have any freaking choice. Okay. So we'll see how that does it. But right now, you've got 20 of the 31 provinces in Canada that are under some sort of brownout or blackout conditions right now. And that is drastically affecting their economy. So yeah, their economy will take a dump. Okay. Yarn Prepper had my first canning lid buckle. It was a ball lid. Okay, and I'll ask the question, are you sure it was a ball lid? Because there's a lot of fakes out there. Like I told you guys the story about me buying some from Amazon, and I got them and they were fakes because on the side, the directions were, one of the words in the directions was spelled wrong. Okay, I got to think quality control at ball is a little bit better. But yeah, not that I've done a ton of canning, so I can't say that, but no, I've never had one buckle. I've had ones that haven't sealed, but I think that's more operator error than product error. Twilight, book titles for novice canners to learn how to can. The Ball Blue book is the Bible, if you will, for canning. That would be the one, certainly. And then, the other ones, I've mentioned Sutton's Days, Lisa over there, Keto Homestead with Jess. Ghost Prepper does something. If you're learning how to can, he does this on Saturdays. It overlaps my live stream, but that's fine. If you want to do it, he does something, I think it starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, and they do an online live stream of a bunch of them canning and do it via StreamYard so everybody can come in and, he'll have 6, 7, 8 people on screen and they'll can something different every week. So, check out Ghost Prepper. That would be something there to learn about. But if you're looking for a book, the Ball Blue book of canning is the one you need to get. Brandy, thank you for the super chat. She says, China goes to war with Taiwan. We are Taiwanese allies. We go there and then mom and dad military here for us. A chess move. Yeah. See, this is going to sound a little conspiratorial, guys, but I'm just going to give you something that has some feasibility to it, okay? I've talked about before the Chinese training in Mexico, the Chinese training in Canada. We know about that. But I've said many, many, many times that the reason the Chinese would never come attack on American soil is because they have no way to resupply their troops once they got here, okay? Not food, not ammunition, certainly not military equipment or anything like that. The interesting point that's been brought up in a couple of places, and like I said, I mean, this is borderline conspiracy. I'm not going there. Is what if a bunch of those cargo ships are full of military equipment? Okay, and because why China's not screaming that these ships aren't being unloaded, I have no idea. Because, like I said, that's their money that's sitting on the ship. There's 500,000 cargo containers sitting out in the port of Los Angeles. Big if, plausible, probable, I don't think so. Plausible, yes. You have personnel come in from the north and the south. You have, well, the equipment has already been shipped across. And what better way to just completely sneak it all in than put it on cargo ships? You know, you think of how drug dealers put it in. Gee, we hollowed out a watermelon and put a whole bunch of drugs inside it. Okay. That's more difficult than putting it in a cargo ship, because the first time the cargo ship ever gets opened is once it's already here. You know, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, plausible, yes. Probable, no, but something to pay attention to. And then, of course, if it's already here, and like Brandy says, we send troops over to the Asian coast, whether it's South Korea, whether it's Japan, whether it's mainland Thailand, or whatever it is, and all of a sudden we have no military here, and poof, everybody's in. Guess who's responsible for defending the U.S.? Veterans. So that's that. Baby Peach, hi Pinball, I'm making your wine tonight, grape and apple, thanks. Okay, the grape, I will say this, the grape will come out good. The apple, when you do it, will come out very, very dry. It will be an extremely, you think Chardonnays are dry. This is going to be drier, okay? The apple wine, basically, you can turn that into apple jack if you want, you know, if you go back and watch the video. But that's adding a can of the frozen concentrate you get, the Seneca apple juice or whatever, the 100% apple juice. You add it to that, and then you freeze distill it all. And do that, take about a week, and you'll have separated all the water from the alcohol, and you'll made apple jack out of that. But if you're just going to keep it as apple wine, which you can, it's going to be an extremely dry wine, just so you know. Good, but it's extremely dry. I like a dry wine, and that's even drier than I like. Freedom Rain, meetup still on. Yes, speaking of, let me do this. Something came in the mail this week. See it? There we go. T-shirts. We thought we'd add that on the sleeve. So I got 100 T-shirts, and unfortunately I can't afford to give them away, but you know, so at the meetup they'll be $10 a piece. They're basically cost. It cost me $1,000 for the T-shirt, so that's why I asked you guys a while back if you wanted them. I'm hoping to God enough people want T-shirts that I don't come home with 90 T-shirts and I'm wearing white T-shirts for the next 5 years of my life. So, but, hang on a second. Okay, I see people saying they're buffering, and I see I am too. Can somebody tell me if buffering? Let me try something. Reconnecting. Okay. All right. So we're back. Okay. I was going to switch over to 4G and do that. Okay. So we're back. I can't see me on my computer, but that's fine. I don't need to. Last thing I see is me showing you the sleeve. Okay. So let me go back to where we were. Okay, I can only go so far. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Mary Rogers, that's actually a good idea. Ran across a post from a member in our Facebook canning group. She was making her cat's food and pressure canning it in servings. That's an idea. That's actually a pretty good idea. I didn't, as I told you, I mean, making dog food, things like that, I never even thought about it, but that makes good sense. Make your homemade pet food and you can can it just like anything else. I mean, you're still canning vegetables or canning meat or whatever. It shouldn't be that difficult. Good idea. I never thought of that one. Uh, Raptor Ranch, hello everyone from Bad River, Wisconsin. Dehydrating tonight. Love y'all. There you go. Get some of that. Righteous Indignation. Any opinions on the conservative areas in California when this goes kinetic? It's not. I mean, the funny thing is, California, I mean, literally should be three states, okay? Because you have the coastal California, then you have northern and southern. And, coastal California is your liberal, in wine country and stuff like that is more conservative. And then Southern California is more conservative down San Diego area and things. Depending, what's going to be interesting is how the people split, because I mean, there are not many, but there are going to be conservatives that live in San Francisco, and they're going to be like, okay, we got to get the hell out of here. And there are liberals that live out in wine country, they're going to go, we got to get more. That's going to be the interesting part, because it's not, California is a little bit more of a mishmash than other states. I mean, say Texas. I mean, if you're a liberal and you don't live in Austin or Dallas Fort Worth, maybe San Antonio, you're screwed. Okay, you don't want to be caught in Lubbock being a liberal when the balloon goes up. So it's going to be interesting, because California is a little bit more intermingled. But all I can say is I wouldn't want to be there. California would be the last place I want to be. Well, California, Oregon, and Washington, ain't no way. When this gets crazy, you better be heading east fast. Because again, I mean, talk about an easy. Let's say it goes kinetic by World War III. China comes in and sweeps those three states like that. There ain't nothing to it. I mean, that is their first target, because they need the coastline. Jen Boyles, how does the draft affect retired vets? Depends on how long they've been retired, because a lot of them will be outside the age of being called back. I think it's one year for every year of service or something. So if you did 20 and got out, let's say you went in at 18, got out when you were 38, they could still call you back till you were 58. Don't quote me on that one. That's how I remember it. It doesn't affect me because I'm not a retiree, so I don't pay attention to it. But if I remember correctly, that's how it worked. It was, you get called back 1 year for every year that you had in service, because then they figured you were still good. Don't quote me on that one. Okay, here's comments on the shirts. Nice, I want one. Nice shirt, right on, nice, yada, yada. Deanna Walters, sorry, we lost one of our best friends to COVID and our dog yesterday. Sorry to hear that, yeah. I mean, I actually heard the same thing. One of my ex-wife's uncles died earlier this week, and he and I were really close. And, obviously I haven't talked to him in 10 years or anything like that because of the divorce. But that kind of hit me pretty hard too. Okay, this is all the buffering part. Okay, so Deanna D. Davis, why aren't we using the National Guard with supply chain? See, here's the issue, guys. Okay, when you're talking about using the National Guard for something, National Guard is just like reservists. These are weekend warriors, if you will. Okay, and I hate the term, but I mean, that's what it is. These guys have regular lives, and one weekend a month they go fulfill their obligation, and then 2 weeks over the summer. Well, when you pull the National Guard to go do something else, you're leaving a hole wherever they were. So let's say the guy worked at the Walmart warehouse, and you pull him out of the Walmart warehouse to have him go work in a Walmart warehouse. You've succeeded in doing nothing. You filled a hole here, but you created another one over there. It's the same problem where I talk about all these, we're going to call up all the doctors and nurses in the National Guard, and they're going to fill in all the hospitals. Well, that's great. If you're calling all the doctors and nurses in the National Guard in Albany, New York, for example, and trying to put them in New York City, Great. Now New York City's got a full complement of medical professionals, and Albany is bare bones basic, screwed. So, and again, a lot of these jobs are not, anybody can just walk in and do it. Okay. You talk about, oh, why don't we take the National Guardsmen and put them out unloading ships, in Long Beach or Los Angeles or something like that. It's not as easy as doing that because there's a lot of specialized equipment you need to know how to use. Then there's customs and everything like that. It's not just a bunch of guys, get a bunch of guerrillas out there. Okay, pick up boxes and unload this and put it into something else. There's a little bit more to it than that. So, you're talking about needing people, ask any longshoreman, they're not just hired muscle. There's, knowledge that comes into what they have to do. Teresa, how do I order one now? If we don't get rid of all the shirts at the gathering a week from Saturday, then I will let them out to everybody else. But obviously it's for those folks first. I will do that. Okay. Tennessee Tactical. I do have a dope logo, elegant and simple. I think it works for me. I like simple. I like black and white. Okay, it's pretty much my entire thought process is black and white. There's yes and no. There's male and female. There ain't no in betweens. My most hated word in the English language is maybe. Whoops. Okay, gotta figure out where we are again. Brandy, another super chat. Okay, thank you for the second time. They know where our oil lines are. Boat issue on purpose with an anchor in California. Yeah, I've heard speculation on that. I mean, again, these are potentially conspiracy theorists saying that the oil spill out in California was a planned event. That is a possibility. Okay, I don't think it's a probability, but the way 2020 has gone, I don't put anything beyond anybody anymore. Okay, Christ, I swear, we're gonna have a nuclear warhead go off somewhere, and somebody's gonna say they won't be able to figure out who did it. It'll be like China be saying it's the U.S. U.S. will be saying it's China. The freaking nuclear missile will go off somewhere. Yeah. All right, where are we here? Northeast Arkansas. When do I think the big shortages in grocery stores will start and the panic? As soon as the weather gets colder. Okay, this is it. The stores are starting to get a little scary. If anybody watched Travis on the Prepared Homestead today, I guess he does an affiliate deal with My Patriot Supply or something. I think it's My Patriot Supply who he does his affiliate work with. I don't do any of that crap. But apparently they are short of freeze-dried foods. They're 30-year food supplier, stuff like that, because they can't get the food, they can't get the packaging, they can't get the ink. There's a lot of product they're short on. Somebody else here emailed me today that Augustin Farms at their website was down, says they can't take any online orders right now because they can only meet the production of the orders they already have. They can't take any more. So it's coming, and it's coming quick. It's funny. We were at Walmart this afternoon and we pick up a couple of things, shampoo and that sort of stuff. And there was a guy in front of me who had 8 cases of Mountain Dew in his cart. I'm not thinking most people drink that much Mountain Dew, okay? 8 cases is what, 160 and 192 cans of Mountain Dew. It's a lot of caffeine. So I got to think he's trying to put some of it away. But yeah, I think it'll be soon. I still think we're gonna see the big panic before Christmas. But again, don't hold me. I also thought we were going to see a lockdown by Labor Day or by October, between Labor Day and October 1st. And obviously we're not locked down yet. So, crystal ball, it's cloudy. Montana Living Telegram just notified me Fauci cancels Christmas. There you go, Fauci. That's what I think. Okay, don't care. Cancel it at your house, not cancel it at mine. Con R, how will Massachusetts hold up when things go crazy? I left Mass I think I told you guys I lived there for 2 years. What was it, 2013 when I left Mass? That state is so screwed up, just with what they think is important and what they don't think is important. When things go crazy, Massachusetts they're toast. Okay, if you're living in New Hampshire, pray to God that all the people from Mass go to Vermont. Okay, because New Hampshire people at least are intelligent. Okay, Massachusetts people, the uber liberals. Oh my God, there's a lot of great people in Massachusetts, but the ones inside the what's the damn tollway over there? I forget. That living in Boston proper. Oh my God, I cannot tell you how it's just insane. It's like I was there when Obama was running against Romney, and not that Romney was any great shakes then, and he's become even a bigger piece of shit since. But the worship for Obama in Massachusetts just dumbfounded me. I'm like, how in the world are you guys this blind? But then again, this is the same state that voted for Barney Frank and Elizabeth Warren, and you had a senator in there who was a conservative. It's just what's Ed Markey, another one representative. I mean, you start naming some of the complete dirtbags in Washington. Most of them come from Mass. I'm still a Bruins fan, so. State your mind. I think you may need to order more shirts. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, I get $1,000 in these right now. That hurts. Let's put it that way. Uberman Tampa, thank you for the super chat. I have a candle business, and soy wax is on shortage. I think the real panic will be mid 2022 in time for elections. Oh, I think it's going to be way before that. I mean, election season will start here in a month or so, and we'll be full blown by January. You're already starting to hear the ones that are running for re-election that aren't. You're starting to hear who's primarying who, all that sort of stuff. Like I told you here, I mean, it's January before, if I decide to do anything, that's when I have to announce, have all my paperwork in or whatever it would be. So yeah, you'll see it before then, but that's when it's going to get crazy. And the crazier things get right now, the less and less and less chance I have of doing anything like that, because I got too much to take care of with a certain person who's sitting over on the couch over there, right there, for me to ever be away for any sort of length of time. Okay. Wendy, if the US dollar crashes, will the government prevent citizens from converting to a foreign currency? Well, if the dollar crashes, nobody's going to want to. I mean, again, go back to look at Venezuela right now. What just lost track of what it's called, what their currency is called. Who's gonna convert Bolivar? There we go. Who's gonna convert Bolivar to dollars? It's like, I think a trillion Bolivar is worth 50 cents. I don't want a trillion Bolivar. I'd rather have a couple of quarters. I mean, look at the Deutschmark, before World War II, the Weimar Republic, the stories of wheelbarrows, that'll be, enough to buy you a cup of coffee, the running joke of, aren't you worried about somebody stealing all the money out of your wheelbarrow? No, I'm more worried about them stealing the wheelbarrow. I mean, yeah, if the dollar crashes, you don't have to worry about anybody converting it, because converting nothing into something is not possible. The only way you're going to do that is if you convert the dollar before it crashes. And then if this is a global disaster, let's say you convert it into euro and the euro crashes and the dollar doesn't, you're screwed. I mean, playing the currency market is, who knows what's going to happen. It's one of those things, you wake up one morning and poof, everything's gone. Backwoods Packer, do I make moonshine along with my wines and beers? No, I never have made moonshine in my life. So do not know how. Do I ever learn? I don't know, but we'll see. But no, I've never done it. Eka T, have I grown vegetables indoors with grow lights? Yeah, every spring you'll see when I show you guys my seed starts and stuff like that, and how I do it. That's all with grow lights, everything. As for growing indoors over the winter or something like that, no, I don't, because I don't have the space. I'm pretty much a spring, summer, fall gardener. Everything's outside. I grow enough that we can store enough for the winter, because fortunately living here, I've got about an 8-month growing season, so that helps. Raptor Ranch, they use the National Guard here to give the jab. That frustrates me, okay? But I mean, if, again, it's a choice thing. I'm assuming these are medical professionals, or at least medics in the National Guard, who have training. This isn't your infantry guy who's, starting to give you jabs or whatever, so at least medics or nurses or whatever would be, but, what is it? About a third of the military, I think the Marine Corps is the one that's least, and the Navy is the one that's most, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's Air Force. But, again, it's a choice for them, in my opinion, to say, I prefer different duty. I'll do the paperwork or something like that. Please don't make me do it because I don't agree with it. Again, this is such an effed up situation with what they're doing with the military, as is forcing the military to do things that are criminal. It's just going to be interesting to see who does, who doesn't, and what happens there. Sandra Kurtz, my sister has been on a ventilator for 9 days. She was fully vaccinated. I'm sorry to hear that. And the scary part is hearing the ventilator part, because the ventilator, from my understanding, is pretty much the last-ditch effort before they're done. So hopefully somehow she comes out of this. Healthy disrespect for authority. If they want to fix the shipping chain, they need to admit the hysteria was planned. Yeah, I mean, they need to stop the charade right now and go, okay, let's open up The Hague. Let's start taking a whole bunch of these politicians and these doctors and these drug companies and start running people through world court, start Nuremberging them, hang them in the courthouse, say, okay, crimes against humanity, and let's get back to reality, guys. Angelo Davallo, George W. Jr. changed it to no age limit. Okay, that I didn't know. Obviously, that's well after my time in. So are you saying that a reservist or a retiree can get called back at any time? I'm hoping common sense would prevail. I mean, that means you could, these 100-year-old World War II vets, you could call them back at that point. I mean, what good, here the guy's got his oxygen tank in his wheelchair. I don't think, what are they going to do? Give him a rifle and say, get out there? Some of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But, then again, is it just retirees? Is it veterans? How are they going to do that? Because, I've served my active duty and my reserve component time. Okay. So I'm not a retiree. So I'm not eligible for recall or anything like that. But who knows? All they can do is change the law, say it's a national emergency, we're in a time of war, anybody who's ever served is now back. And Christ, it's like, trust me, my uniforms ain't going to fit anymore. Yeah, and there's a whole new bunch of stuff. I mean, what I was trained on, watching something the other day. I mean, when I was in, it was M1A1 Abrams tanks. I guess they're now on M1A3s, and they're talking about retiring the Abrams tanks. I'm like, hell, when I came out, these things, or when I was in, these things were the new thing, and now they're going to retire them already. So, V. Rogers, what do I think of Ted Nugent? Cat scratch fever. What was the other one? Some of he had a few good songs. He wasn't ever my. I mean, a few good songs. That would be a base. I wouldn't pay money to go see him in concert. Politically, I pretty much agree with him. Sometimes I think he's a little bit over the top, but hell, he's a rock and roll guy. But I agree with his stance on the 2A. Sometimes I just think he's a little over the top in the way he tries to get his point across. But politically, I agree with him. Let's see. Lawrence has major issues at freeze-dried food companies. Yeah, we talked about that a second ago. Catgirl66, nurses in Staten Island burned their scrubs Saturday outside a hospital. Yeah, seen a lot of protests like that. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago about the one where all the hospital workers, the nurses and everything like that just left their shoes outside the front door with a little card as to who they were. You're getting stories like this. I mean, and again, we're going to go back and say, told you so, because like I said 2-3 months ago and a few times since, eventually the hospitals are going to come back begging, saying, well, we really need you to come back. And the people are going to say, but I ain't doing this. And they're like, okay, that's what's going to happen. Okay. Companies are going to do it. Hospitals are going to do it because you cannot get rid of, by the official numbers, 40% of the population and say you're not allowed to work anymore. It just doesn't work that way. The 60% of the people can't maintain, even for themselves, they can't, because there's too many skilled people, that they need from the 40%. Whoops. I was reading something. Somebody said new car dealers, and it shot up to the bottom. Shot down to the bottom. There you go. Hang on, I'm trying to find it, and I'm not going to. Sorry. Hector Prepper, when I left Mass in 74, I didn't stop till I got to Anchorage. There were a lot of good places in between, but hell, once you got past Idaho, forget it. It's a good thing you kept going. Let's see. Lucky Day makes a good comment. Folks, be careful about giving out personal information in the chat. This is still the internet. Yeah, guys, please don't try to put email addresses or phone numbers or too much physical information about your location or anything like that. I mean, practice a lot of Opsec. I mean, A, we're preppers, but B, this is the internet, and this is not exactly a conservative friendly platform we're on. Sheila B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. Northern Ozark Homestead. Is anyone going to ask Potato if he'll peacefully transfer power? Yeah. Pelosi did, wanting the Secret Service on notice to physically remove Trump if he wouldn't leave from the White House. Yeah, right. I want to see what happens when she loses the House. They're going to pull her, take the gavel out of her hand while she's kicking and screaming again. Congratulations, Nancy. You're the only one that's going to lose the House twice. Green Smoothie Queen, they're really amping up the climate change fear-mongering, saying we're beyond the tipping point. Oh, I know. It's like I talked about the other day, Greta Thunberg is supposed to win a Nobel Prize. I mean, for what? Making the ugliest faces for not knowing anything. I mean, it's just idiotic. But, I mean, everything is climate change now. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. If you dry your clothes in the clothes dryer, oh, that's affecting the climate. if you dry your clothes on a clothesline, oh, that's affecting the climate. Well, how the hell am I supposed to dry my clothes? It doesn't matter what I do. Breathing is dangerous to the climate, apparently. So and again, it's because they don't have anywhere else to go. It's like, oh my God, you know, we've just got to keep the ramping up the panic. So it's just, let's get a little stupider and a little stupider. I mean, they've got to the point of so freaking stupid, you know, I mean, not on the topic of climate change, but you see this bill that one of the state representatives in Pennsylvania put out yesterday, that he wants it made into law in Pennsylvania that men are forced to have a vasectomy within 6 months of turning 40 or within 6 months of their third kid being born. Mandatory vasectomy, otherwise it's a $10,000 fine. This is what some Democrat dickhead in Pennsylvania thinks he has the right to come up and tell, as dumb as this is, the Democrat Party's screaming for Planned Parenthood all the time. Right to choose, right to choose. It's a woman's right to her body. But now we got a politician who's going to come on the other side and say, oh, yeah, you got, snip, snip. Really? It's like, oh, my God. So, Uberman Tampa, you know why the post office is exempt from the vax? Because they don't want to mess with mail-in ballots. I've heard that comment too. Actually, it's because of the Postal Union. But yeah. Okay. We scroll all over the place again. Gareth Singleton, what's up with this truck driver strike? All talk, no action. Let's just leave it at that way. I mean, how many truck driver strikes are we supposed to have already this year? One every other month or one every month? How many have we had? 0. Okay. Yeah. Laura Selzer, when healthcare workers and doctors are doing this, the jab is bad. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I don't want to go into it too far, but I agree. Teresa Ellis, what's Mrs. P up to? Video soon. Well, she was laying on the couch watching the live stream, kind of being another moderator over there for me. But other than that, I think she's right now she's in the laundry room. So if y'all heard her. Okay. Chicken Prepper says, breaking news, Biden and Xi Jinping agree to abide by the Taiwan agreement. That would be good. I'll probably be reading about that as soon as we're done here. Kitsy Witty, I want to see Marjorie Taylor Greene hit the gavel. I don't think she's anywhere near in line to be the speaker. I think Kevin McCarthy's first, and I think Elaine Stefanik is second. If I'm not mistaken, that's the hierarchy. Drops Family Garden there in La La Land with climate change. Ain't that the truth? What else we got? Let's see. Rooster, I don't get it. Okay, after all these years, really, what's up, Sean? It's a darn song, please. Okay, I don't get it. All right. Do not know what you're talking about. Please don't boot him. There's not worried about Rooster being disrespectful. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Robert Winslow. How the hell do they dry their clothes? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Jason Kincaid, no more wood burning fires. Yeah. Oh no, we are not supposed to do it. Releases too much carbon in the air. You're not supposed to burn wood. I don't know what you're supposed to burn, because water doesn't burn, and water ain't going to get you hot, in the middle of winter. Whoops. Somebody said, how big of a gas generator do I have to do my solar? What is it? I think it's a 600. obviously not sitting next to it right now. I believe it's about a 600. Okay, where are we? Shady3, thank you very much for the super chat. That was very nice of you. Please treat ourselves to a nice lunch. Uh, that would be a nice dinner for the two of us. Thank you. So appreciate that. Okay, keep shooting all over the place. Tiger 13 US. You can fix dumb. There ain't no help for stupid. Ain't that the truth? Mike Payne, hello from Idaho. Any word on the governor's meeting in Texas to talk about border issues? The last I've heard is that Governor Abbott is trying to use the Texas National Guard to help on the border and basically thumbing his nose at Biden, saying, I'm sorry, it's the Texas border too, so we have some control. But as for any talk between governors, I haven't heard a peep out of anything like that. KB chicks, I'd be happy to give my ex the snip snip. Good thing I'm not your ex. Let's see, where are we? Teresa says, let's go pull down the Georgia Guidestones. Yeah. Yeah, Truth Seekers. I see the interview with John Kerry. He had to explain why France was pissed. Yeah, I mean, yes, I saw it. I can't even get into it. Kitsy Witty, are you ready for the internet to go down? I've got myself pretty damn close to being ready to what I've said all the time. If I couldn't ever leave my property again, I'm pretty close to being able to do that. The only issue I would have is protein, and if I at that point I'd be, if we ever got to that point, I mean, all bets are off. Who cares about what any regulations say? At that point, I've got chickens, so that would be it. I'd get chickens somehow and breed chickens, and that would be it, or breed rabbits or whatever, and end of story, and I'd be doing it. But yeah, I mean, would it be easy? No. Okay. Could I get more? Absolutely. Could I still beef up my power more? Yes, absolutely. But could I make it? Yes. For however long I need to. That all depends on how long it is. Shady Tree, are we going to raise money for Thanksgiving this year? Around Thanksgiving, we probably will raise it again for Christmas, like we did last year. If you guys are all up for it, I'd probably like to do the same thing we did last year, is do something for the food pantry and then for Toys for Tots. But I mean, again, that's all up to you guys. I don't want to be, trust me, it's a crazy situation for everybody this year. Okay. I'm certainly not going to come up and say to anybody, hey, let's do this, and you guys are going without it or whatever it would be. Okay. You got to take care of number one. Once you've done taking care of number one, then you can worry about taking care of other people. But if that'll kind of be all up to all you guys. If you want to do it, yeah, we can put something together again. Let's see. Prepared for, if Trump runs in 2024, who do you think would be the VP pick? If I had to say right now, I'd say DeSantis. I would say Kristi Noem would probably be a close second, just because they might want to get the woman vote, the woman in there, to kind of use the whole gender thing against the Democrats. The deal is where I think DeSantis might run against Trump. How that works, who knows? But usually you pick a VP because they're going to help the ticket somehow. Well, if Trump's in Florida and DeSantis is in Florida, and they're both white men, he's not helping the ticket any. Okay, so that's where I think maybe a Kristi Noem would be in there. And again, to kind of thumb their nose, going, not saying that Kristi Noem is not a highly qualified candidate. Absolutely, she is. Okay, but the fact that they may try to throw the curve. Okay, you want to get on us about an old white guy here? We have a female VP too. So you asked for my opinion. That's what you got. All right, one more. We can find one here. Laura Williams, okay, that's a good way to end it, seeing as how we just talked about Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis' wife was diagnosed with breast cancer this afternoon, or sometime. I saw the story this afternoon, so very recently. And of course, all the liberals had to chime in all over the place when Ron DeSantis announced it over Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, gee, well, if there was a vaccine for it, I'm sure she wouldn't take it. But I hope I hope she suffers as much as the people who died from COVID and everything." And I looked at that as I read the article, and I go, this just goes to prove everything that I've said for 30 years. Every single freaking Democrat out there is a dirtbag scum. And, I'm sorry. My mother's a breast cancer survivor. Okay. And to wish anybody ill like that, they have no idea what a breast cancer patient goes through. And for people to say that, those are the people I hope get hit by a freaking bus on the way home tonight. Because that is just, for somebody you don't know, for somebody that has, you couldn't say one word, if she's got a high-pitched voice or a deep voice, you have no idea. She's not the politician. She's not the one you're angry with. The fact that she's married to Ron DeSantis is immaterial, okay? But to sit there and wish her ill, like so many people did on Twitter, just tells me what kind of scum liberals are. And that's how we'll end it tonight. Have a great Tuesday evening, guys. Pinball out.